Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Adekunle Williams. How are you all doing? Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are fine. If you're new to this channel, kindly click on the subscription button. Click on the notification bell to let you know whenever I post any new video. Okay guys, so last night we saw the 6th episode of the Big Brother Naija Level Up reunion. Yes guys, and it got some of us or a lot of us talking. There were different talking points about the reunion. Someone like Doyin was, getting dragged. Yes, guys. And others had a lot to say about different things. Some of the housemates and even the host, Ebuka, did. Yes, so in this video, we are going to be reviewing all that. So, for those of you who do not remember, last night reunion was basically about Hemis Accent and Brian and Khaled talking about it. Then we had the whole Adekunle versus Allison and Doyin. Then we also had Dotun talk about it. Then at some point Shegs was brought into the matter. Then from that we had the whole Elo Swags, Chumsy and Phyna situation, which Phyna and Chumsy sorted out amicably. Yes. So what were some of the talking points of last night's show? Let's start with the very obvious one, Doyin. Now, Doyin was being called out by fans of the show on Twitter, Instagram, and all over social media for being very disrespectful to Adekunle's mom. Now, this is what Doyin said that got people talking. Listen.
Do you understand? Like, I watched so many clips that were so heartbreaking, but eventually, at the end of the day, I just realized that, he's a trifling human being. He should be very much ashamed of himself. I think he owes his mom an apology because he threw her home training in the gutter. He's a very sorry excuse of a man, and I really think he should be very ashamed of him.
Yes, guys, so that was part of the insults that Doyin heaped on Adekunle's head last night, where she was like, you should apologize to your mom because the home training that she gave you, you kind of like messed it up or something like that. This is me paraphrasing, right? So while they were bashing her all night, Doyin did not say anything. Rather, she put out an episode of her talk show or her podcast, which she's asking people to watch. Then this morning, she put out this tweet and says, I never insulted his mom. My words were he owes his mom an apology for throwing her home training in the gutter. In other words, she trained him, but he neglected the training, so he owes her an apology. If English is your problem, this is a good chance to go back to school. And in another tweet, she said, I said what I said and I'll say it again. Yes. Now, last night, some of the people that saw the show, some of the ex-housemates that saw the show had this to say. Kes said, everybody get bad character normally, and they just said, nah, follow come. So from this tweet, we could see that Kes and Deji were trying to say, while we were bashing one party the other time, all of them in that house has a flaw or character flaw. Now for Doyin, she's out here saying, you guys are misunderstanding that insult. I did not insult her mom, or his mom rather. I insulted him, telling him that, the good job that the mom did on him, he wasted it, he never took it. And she also went on to say, I'll say it all over again and again and again. Now, what do I have to say about this? The reason why Doyin is being dragged is because she mentioned mom, and also because she was kind of very active when Phyna was being dragged last week Thursday about the statement she made about Chi. Yes, when she came out with this tweet telling Phyna to be able to hold her emotion, and when you are able to tame your emotions, that is when you have power. Now, she put this out knowing that previously they've actually had a situation where she allowed her emotions get the best of her, that she said some things that, are not really good to say again or to repeat. So that brings a lot of people to the fact that maybe she's been a hypocrite. So for her to, in the heat of the moment, put out that tweet while Fina was being dragged for that statement she made about Chichi, shouldn't she also take the same medicine that she gave Fina? So I think that was why a lot of people were dragging her. But honestly, in the real sense of it, listening to it again, I understand what Doyin was saying, but I feel like at the mention of any relative, parents, Nigerians become very super sensitive, because if we are also going to review what Fina said to Chichi, you will, without sentiment, also realize that that wasn't really an insult. Yes, she was just mentioning or repeating what Chomsy said about Chichi using her late parents for strategy, but we are not going to go into all that now, are we? So basically, that was the reason Doyin was being dragged. On the streets of Big Brother is filled with hypocrisy. So at this point, honestly, I'm used to it. Now, moving on, let's also talk about Dotun's involvement in the whole Adekunle and Allison drama. Honestly, I kept asking myself all night from where to where. How has Adekunle wronged Dotun in any way? Anyways, after the show was aired, this is what Dotun put out. He said, LMAO, I want PR experts. Then he put a laughing emoji. He also said, Kasa and more go sweet this year. Now, I don't know how this is sounding to me, Sha, because from the first tweet, it's obvious he's saying that Adekunle has gotten some PR help on how to conduct himself at the reunion. That's why he said PR expert. The second tweet, honestly, I do not understand. Maybe somebody should fill me in because I'm lost, honestly. But also, why is Dotun having an issue with Adekunle? I thought they were cool. I thought when they got out of the house, they were actually cool. They used to visit beauty together at some point, right? So I actually thought they were cool. What happened? What happened? I wish they would reveal it at the reunion, because honestly, I do not understand how this concerns Dotun. I don't understand how, this matter touched Dotun, because in the whole thing, Dotun was not really part of the Adekunle circle or something. Or maybe it's because Adekunle said somewhere or somehow in the show that Dotun was forcing himself on Daniela, or maybe because Adekunle took over from Dotun with Daniela. I don't know, but I'm just trying to explore ways with which I feel like maybe Dotun was offended by Adekunle, because if you ask me, the way he butted in was surprising, and I did not understand why. Because if you had left Adekunle, if you had left Dotun the way he was airing his mind yesterday, he for slap Adekunle, because that energy no be here. Yes. Now, away from that, another talking point, was the whole Hemis Accent, and of course the Chomsy Elo Swag Fina segment that was aired last night. Now, a lot of people believe that was totally unnecessary. Like the Hemis part, the Fina part, like there was no controversy there. There was really no talking point there. Some people are like, that was a waste of time frame that would have been used for another a more pressing stuff that happened in the house. That's a school of thought. For me, maybe, honestly, because I was expecting this thing to go another way, but it didn't go the way I thought it was. Because for me, I don't even think that accent thing was a major talking point at the show or on the show. That's it. Now, another thing a lot of people were also talking about was Ebuka and Fina. Now, people were like, on the streets of Twitter, they were saying that Fina was rude to Ebuka, because initially Fina didn't want to say anything. She was like, Ebuka, that's it, and they said that was rude and all that. Was Fina actually rude to Ebuka? I actually think she came in there and didn't want to talk. Maybe her managers or somebody has already told her, do not, say anything. Just be calm about everything and don't go into details, because probably they feel like they don't want her to get into more scandals or controversy. Now, Fina being Fina, the way it was executed kind of like seemed snobbish or offish. So I think that's why people have the impression, that she was rude to Ebuka. Now, there was also people, that were saying that most Fina fans were saying that Ebuka was unnecessarily harsh on Fina with that statement that he made about housemates wanting to please their fans, housemates, carrying shoulder and don't want to talk. At the end of the day, are you happy? Now, what I think is this. I actually think that talk was at some point necessary, because I understand why Fina probably wouldn't want to say much, but then it's a reunion and she played a major role. Not just did she play a major role, she also won the show. So, and not just did she win the show, she was at the center of most of the issues that were being trashed out at the reunion. So, at some point, she needed to talk. Do you get? So that was why Ebuka had to say what he had to say. Maybe if she just, talked on the surface and not just that's it that she was given, maybe there wouldn't have been need for Ebuka to push. Because I mean, at the end of the day, multi-choice wants drama, multi-choice wants to make their money. I mean, nobody wants to sit and be hearing, a controversial character in the show, which Fina was, and a winner, to just be saying that's it. Had it been she did not really contribute much, if you compare how Fina is in this season and let's say previous winners like maybe White Money, you realize that White Money was not really prompted to talk much at the reunion the other year. Well, because he was not really in the center of most of the drama that happened in the house. So there was no need to actually push him to talk. Unlike the likes of maybe Mercy, Fina, those ones were very, very important for the show. They created most of the dramas or the major highlights in the show. So there's no way they wouldn't want them to talk. You understand? So a lot of people felt like Ebuka was goading her, prompting her to talk and all that. They felt it was unnecessary. And some even took it up a notch and said that Ebuka didn't like Fina. Well, I know when we have controversial characters like that on the show, we always have this feeling that maybe the host is kind of like apprehensive towards them. We saw that happen with Tacha. I remember a lot of Titans had that, notion that Ebuka never liked Tacha. I do not know if it's not liking them, but I feel like maybe they just didn't make his work or his job easy for him because of the way their characters were, and they were not forthcoming with what he wanted to hear. So I think it's not about him liking or disliking her. I think he just wanted to do his job and give us a show. So that's my own 2 cents about all this that happened last night. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. On that note, I'd like to say a very big thank you to you all for being part of my channel. If you have not yet subscribed, kindly click on the subscription button, click on the notification bell to let you know whenever I post any new video. Till I come your way again, I remain your darling girl, Azine Williams. Have yourself a beautiful, wonderful day ahead.